Hey guys, Dollet here. Finally, it's my turn back on the breakdown after our E3 break. Did you miss me? I missed you lot. So, what shenanigans happened in the game sphere this last week? Let's find out. Hey guys, don't forget to sub to the channel if you're into what you're hearing. While you're down there, remember to like the video as much as we like you. You'll be good now. Cooler Master reveals its competitor to Acer's Predator Thronos in the Orb X, calling it a fully immersive, multi-purpose, semi-enclosed workstation for gamers and professionals. Oh yeah, right, because looking at this, I definitely think professional. The Gamer Egg comes in glossy eggshell white and special Century Egg black. No date or price for the Orb X yet, but if you have to ask, then this luxury item probably isn't for you. In an update to last week's coverage of Respawn's current issue with hacking and DDoSing in its titles, yeah, it's still not great. Apex Legends is at least up and running, but there are still complaints of minor DDoSing and overall server instability. And that's to say nothing of Titanfall, which was rendered completely unplayable on the 12th. Before being released by the attacker. Respawn has to do something. No one person should have the power to turn off the game like this. I'm really hoping to hear good news in the coming week. Tekken 7 director Katsuhiro noted Internet Hardass, was in rare form recently talking about online netcode. Ah yes, that thing that Tekken is renowned for. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. Tekken's netcode is 3 steps from the bin. Look, I really like Tekken. It was my fighting game of choice for a long time. But once I moved away from just playing with my mates to going online, I've just never really been a fan. It's been routinely bad, and Harada, who is a company guy, has a noted history of backing the company's decision and not actually generating any goodwill on the topic. Now, that said, in the past few months, that might be changing. With rollback coming into prominence, especially after the release of Guilty Gear Strive, developers have been taking a softer approach to talking about netcode. Now, I say that to say this. I heard that this was a giant misunderstanding, and I read the twit longer, and while it did feel a little bit like Walking Bad a bad take, I have to say, he really did sound like he understood the situation. Japan has a great internet infrastructure. Europe has good internet infrastructure. The US has bad internet infrastructure. Other places in the world really don't have it much better than the US at the moment. So, right now, he seems to be open to looking at all aspects, including rollback. But we won't see that until a future installment of Tekken. So, look forward to Tekken 8, whenever that drops. In the meantime, I'll be playing Guilty Gear Strive, whose netcode is fucking based. And has already gotten things in order for crossplay on all platforms, so fingers crossed about that. Capcom is also catching some bad press. Their anti-piracy DRM has been cracked, and Digital Foundry has tested this crack and found a pretty incredible and definitely noticeable increase in both frame rate and frame time. As such, stutters seem to be gone and the frame rate is buttery smooth. It shouldn't be a surprise that after publishing their content, Capcom got in touch with the Digital Foundry boys and has said that, and I quote, "The team are working on a patch to address PC performance issues. It should be available soon." So good guy Capcom, right? A friendly reminder that Village came out in May, and these problems have been there since release. So no, just Capcom trying to save face. While we're on the topic of poor decisions being made, let's talk about this Lost Judgement situation. The talent agency of main character, actor, and model Takuya Kimura have prevented Lost Judgement from being published on Steam. With Sega's recent success on PC, this agency denying them access to publish on the service may lead Sega to wrap up the series prematurely. You know, actually, we're still talking about bad decisions, so let's talk Stadia. The Google boys have fashioned a plan to give devs a cut of Stadia revenue based on their game's playtime. Now, on its face, this doesn't seem too bad, but I have my doubts. I love the idea, but just don't trust Google to make sure devs are being paid. I suspect executives in those devs companies will get paid, and the devs themselves will have the same deal they've always had. Moreover, this incentivizes a certain style of games to come about. Games that never seem to end, games that are drip-fed content over years, games as a service is what I'm getting at. Look, I'm just not into most parts of this idea. They're gonna have to really win me over. We'll see. Let's round up this bad news with something only potentially bad. You've heard a lot of companies claim to be, or just want to be, the Netflix of gaming. Well, let's add another name to that list. Netflix. The streaming service has been putting together talent to tackle its next big leap in the streaming game. Now, Google has kind of poisoned the well when it comes to non-gaming companies wanting to get into the gaming industry. And Amazon has hammered in another nail to that coffin, but who's to say how this will go? They've already hired former Blizzard executive Mike Verdu to act as vice president of game development. Verdu also oversaw developers bringing content onto Oculus during his time at Facebook, so he's been on the bleeding edge of gaming before. We're still at the start of this news, and Netflix is still building its team, so don't expect things out too soon. We'll be keeping our eyes on this one for sure. Let's take a break from all this worry and frustration to talk about something good. Valve has introduced its Steam Deck. Seems that Valve wasn't impressed by the new Switch model and decided to show the team at Nintendo how it's actually done. It's a proper handheld computer, right down to the fact that you can apparently install a copy of Windows on it if you're not keen to play on the native Steam OS. You'll have access to your entire Steam library on the go and the ability to connect to a larger external display with any USB-C hub. Now, I'm not going to go into all the details on the system, as what you see is mostly what you get, but I will mention that you also get what you pay for. There are 3 price points that have been announced: a $399 64GB model, a $530 256GB model with an NVMe SSD, and some Steam community goodies, and finally, a 650 512GB model with an NVMe SSD, anti-glare etched glass, and an exclusive virtual keyboard. So, it should be noted that while the 256 and 512GB models have an NVMe SSD for added speed, all 3 do have solid-state hard drives. And all 3 also have the ability to add additional space through SD cards. I don't actually know what to make of this yet, but I do love the idea of being able to take my Steam library wherever I need to go. Being a college student again, and being able to play Hades on the go, hell, being able to do my Final Fantasy XIV dailies on the go, that'd be pretty excellent. I look forward to seeing more about this. But that will do it for me. Thanks for listening, though. Remember, every comment, like, and sub means a lot for the channel, and we love you for it. If you're looking for more of this, catch Leek, Aqua, and me on Perpetual Backlog Podcast, or in the other Perpetual Breakdown videos. As always, I've been Dollet. You've been amazing, and I'll see you next time.